Hi there. I'm going to say something that most older women would never admit out loud. I used to wonder if other people could smell me. Not perfume, not soap, but something a little off. And no one tells you. People are too polite. Or maybe they just think it's an age thing. But let me tell you, it's not just age. Doctors now warn that combining two common daily habits is one of the biggest reasons older women develop that musty, stale smell, even when they think they're clean. So please watch this all the way through, because if you're doing these two things together, like I was, you may be walking around thinking you're fresh when you're not. And if you find this helpful, give it a like, comment, I had no idea, and don't forget to subscribe. We're not holding anything back here. The innocent mistake most older women make that slowly changes how they smell without realizing it. You'd be surprised how many women do this, and how few ever connect the dots. For decades, we've been told that the way to stay fresh is to scrub more, wash more, and mask any odor with perfumes or powders. It's what we were taught, what our mothers taught us. And honestly, it made sense when we were younger. Our bodies could handle the harsh soaps, the layering of products, and the constant washing without much consequence. But here's what changes after 60. Your skin becomes thinner and drier. Your body's oil production slows down. Your hormones shift, especially postmenopause, and that affects how you sweat and how your skin reacts to moisture and bacteria. Yet, we keep treating our bodies like we're still in our 30s. We stick to the same soap we've used for 40 years. We wash our intimate areas with the same aggressive lather. We use powders, sprays, and deodorants like we're fighting off a five-alarm odor. But the truth is, when you combine age-related skin changes with outdated hygiene routines, it leads to something no one warns you about. An unfamiliar body odor that can make you feel self-conscious and even embarrassed, without understanding why it's happening. And worse, the two most common habits women turn to in order to fix this odor, they're actually the exact two habits that doctors say are making things worse. Why that squeaky clean feeling from soap is actually a red flag for older skin. Let's talk about the first habit, and it's one that fooled me for years. There's something satisfying about that squeaky clean feeling after a shower. That tightness on your skin, that no residue sensation, we think it means we did a good job, that we're clean, fresh, and ready for the day. But that squeaky feeling, it means your skin has been stripped of everything. Not just dirt and sweat, but also the healthy oils and protective bacteria your body relies on to stay in balance. Here's something most women aren't told. After 60, your skin's barrier, the layer that keeps moisture in and bad bacteria out, becomes more fragile. When you wash with traditional bar soaps, antibacterial washes, or highly scented gels, you're not just cleaning, you're breaking down your skin's defenses. What happens next? Your skin overcompensates. It becomes drier. You sweat more in response to the dryness. And that dryness, it creates tiny microcracks, perfect little hiding places for odor-causing bacteria. Even worse, the areas we tend to scrub the hardest, under the arms, under the breasts, in between the thighs. All those warm, folded areas that are already prone to odor. Now they're irritated, unbalanced, and drying out. And suddenly you're noticing a new kind of smell. It's not sweat. It's not perfume. It's something in between, something musty, sharp, almost metallic. You might think you need to wash even more, but that just starts the cycle all over again. How covering up odor with fragrance is backfiring and creating an even stronger, off smell. Now let's talk about the second habit, and it's one I clung to for years. When I started noticing changes in my scent, I did what most women do. I covered it up. Powders, sprays, roll-on deodorants, body mists, scented lotions. I thought, if I just find the right fragrance, it'll overpower whatever I'm noticing. But here's the problem. As we age, our sense of smell dulls, just slightly. So we often don't realize when we're overapplying. What smells light and pleasant to us might be overwhelming and unpleasant to someone else. Worse still, our skin chemistry changes with age. Fragrances that used to blend nicely with our natural oils, now they sit on the skin and turn quickly, mixing with sweat, bacteria, or dryness in strange ways. Doctors call it olfactory masking failure, when scented products actually interact with natural skin oils to create a stronger, more noticeable body odor than you started with. So now you've got a layer of dried soap film, a second layer of deodorant that's reacting with sweat, a spritz of perfume that smells fine at first, but after an hour starts turning sour, and a body lotion that's scented like vanilla, but somehow ends up smelling like burnt plastic. It's not your fault. We're taught to believe that clean equals scented, but as doctors now warn, scent stacking after overwashing is one of the biggest reasons older women notice their scent changing, and not in a good way. The solution isn't to stop washing or never use fragrance again. It's to understand the new rules of your body and break the habit of combining these two rituals without intention. What doctors really recommend, instead, the modern hygiene routine that helps older women smell better naturally without harsh products or perfume. So, if the two habits we've clung to for decades, overwashing and overscenting, are actually working against us in our later years, what should we be doing instead? Let me tell you what shocked me when I asked my own GP this very question. I expected her to rattle off some fancy soap brands or recommend another age-specific body wash. But no, she looked me right in the eyes and said, "You don't need to smell like a flower garden. You need to smell like you, just a clean, balanced version of you." That sentence alone changed everything about how I approached my hygiene routine. Here's what doctors now suggest for women over 60 who want to stay fresh without fighting against their own biology. 1. Switch from traditional soap to a pH-balanced, fragrance-free cleanser. Forget bar soaps. Forget anything labeled antibacterial. Instead, look for gentle, non-foaming cleansers with words like pH-balanced, for sensitive skin, fragrance-free, non-stripping. These cleansers help maintain the skin's natural barrier, and more importantly, they preserve your acid mantle, which is your body's first line of defense against odor-causing bacteria. You might not get the foamy, lathery experience you're used to, but that's a good thing. The foam doesn't equal clean. It often just means extra sulfates that strip your skin dry. And don't worry, you'll still feel clean, just not squeaky, which is actually a sign of overcleansing. 2. Shower less frequently and more strategically. I know. This one took me a while to accept too. We've been taught that daily full-body showers are a must, but doctors say that after 60, that might actually be too much. Instead, they recommend targeted washing. Daily, clean underarms, groin, feet, and any skin folds under breasts, underbelly. 2 to 3 times per week, full-body gentle showers. This method respects your skin's natural oils while still keeping the key odor-prone areas fresh. Bonus tip, always pat dry, especially in warm, damp areas, and avoid aggressive rubbing with towels. Your skin is more fragile than you think. 3. Switch to a natural, unscented deodorant that works with your body, not against it. Let's talk deodorant. If your current brand leaves a chalky residue, stings after application, or smells more chemical than clean, it's time to switch. Look for a deodorant that has no aluminum, is free of artificial fragrance, uses natural antibacterial ingredients like magnesium, baking soda in small amounts, or charcoal. These work with your body to neutralize odor-causing bacteria instead of trying to plug your sweat glands entirely. And here's a trick I learned. Apply your deodorant at night before bed. Why? because your body is cooler and drier, so the formula has time to absorb and work more effectively the next day. 4. Stop layering scents. Start using a signature scent strategically. I'm not saying never wear perfume again. I'm saying use it like jewelry, not like soap. Spray your perfume behind the ears, inside the elbows, on clean clothes instead of directly on skin. And choose one scent, not 6. Let your natural scent blend with it gently. No powder plus spray, plus deodorant, plus lotion, plus perfume cocktail. And if you ever feel like your favorite fragrance suddenly turns on your skin, don't panic. It might just be time to try a different base note. Older skin tends to do better with light florals, musks, and clean herbal notes over sweet or spicy blends. 5. Keep skin folds dry, without powders that clog or cake. This was another big one for me. I used to be a baby powder fan. Under the breasts, between the thighs, sprinkle, pat, done. But doctors now warn against talc-based powders, especially if you have sensitive or thinning skin. They can cake, trap moisture, and even contribute to infection in some cases. Instead, try soft cotton pads like bra liners, moisture-wicking underwear or bras, a light dusting of arrowroot powder or cornstarch-based body powders, fragrance-free. You'll feel fresher, drier, and less likely to develop that musty closed skin scent that so many older women struggle with in silence. 6. Let your skin breathe, literally. Not everything needs to be about products. Some of the best advice I got: let your body breathe. Skip bras when you're home. Go without socks when you can. Wear loose, cotton sleepwear. Open windows. Let air flow. Take a few minutes in the sun if you're comfortable. A body that breathes doesn't hold on to odor the same way a body trapped in synthetic fabrics all day does. Ladies, don't let embarrassment keep you from feeling fresh and proud of your body. A lot of us are making these mistakes quietly, but now you know. And trust me, a small change can make a big difference. So here's what I'd love. Comment below if you've been combining these two habits. Like this video if you learned something new. And don't forget to subscribe, because women our age need real talk, not filtered nonsense. And if you haven't already, join my free Savvy Senior newsletter. I share private tips I don't always post here, and you'll be the first to hear about what's working for women just like us. Thanks for being here. And remember, we're never too old to feel fresh, clean, and confident.